I love being outside, I love working with the animals, and I love the variety. I mean, one day we're fencers, one day we're builders, next day you're a mechanic, plumber, vet, you name it, we do it all. And it's that variation that kind of keeps things interesting.
I came to the farm one summer and I never went back to university. I loved the flexibility, I loved the open lifestyle, I loved working with animals. This whole career and lifestyle just suited me so much better than living in the city.
I worked in the sport industry as a strength and conditioning coach for the last 6 years, working with various groups of teams and athletes of all different levels.
Before I became a dairy farmer, I worked as a physiotherapist. I did 2 years at Tauranga Hospital, and then I did a few years over in the UK working. So when I came home from the UK, I was kind of between jobs. The plan was to head to Australia and look at picking up a physio job over there, but I had a friend who needed a hand and he asked if I could help out, and I figured I didn't have anything to lose. Long story short, 6 years later, here I am, still am.
I always wanted to go farming. I sort of grew up around farming. My family used to farm way before I was born. I didn't really know you could do it unless you were born into it. It was just sort of things I'd heard. But then we've been talking to some friends and they sort of talked about the pathway and how the industry was sort of looking for more Kiwis to get involved in it, especially from other careers. So the wife and I started looking at it. And I suppose that plus, I mean, sport's a passion industry. I love working in sport, but there's not too much job security there, and there's not too much of a future there, I suppose. If I lost my last job, it would be quite hard to step into a similar sort of role, and that was quite a bit of stress on my wife and I, especially since we're looking to have a family soon. And that's really the last point is we want a family, and I'd love to raise my kids on a farm and with the farming lifestyle.
I get to work with animals every day. I get to be out in the nature, driving big machinery, riding fast motorbikes. It's super fun, super exciting, keeps you on your toes all the time. Being a dairy farmer is challenging, and I get to problem solve and just feel like I've accomplished something at the end of every day. We're part-time builders, mechanics, plumbers, electricians, you name it, we've done a little bit of it. I learned how to weld last week. I just love farming. There's endless opportunities and so many transferable skills that I can use throughout my life.
Skills do I bring to farming? Hopefully heaps. No, mainly I've done a lot of work with people, obviously, so people skills. A lot of that's also been in leadership and management, running teams of coaches and teams of athletes. On top of that, definitely, punctuality and reliability that you learn working in another industry, another career. And also, obviously, I've got a degree, a sports science degree, but the science definitely crosses over to animal science as well. And obviously, through there as well, just working with technology, so working with computers, working with that sort of stuff, which has all been, or I've found useful so far.
Something that I was most worried about when I came into farming, coming from living in the city, was that I wouldn't have any friends around me and I would be lonely out here on the farm. But that's totally not the case. Farming has an amazing community. There's heaps of opportunities to meet people with young farmers clubs, with training with primary ITO. There's competitions like the Dairy Industry Awards that I've just competed in. Plus there's 5 of us working here and we all get along really well and hang out together, and we're really not that far away from anything in New Zealand. Rural New Zealand is a beautiful place to live. We've got the beach, we've got the lake, and we've got Mount Maunganui right at our fingertips, so it's really not remote like I was worried about.
The sort of worry I had coming in was this general farm location. My wife's a nurse, she works in Tauranga Hospital, so we needed the farm to be somewhere close enough for her still to be able to continue her job as well. And that hasn't been an issue at all. Luckily, we started on a farm which was about a 35-minute drive, and now I'm on a farm which is about 20 minutes for her to get to work, so that wasn't an issue at all.
I think the one myth I'd like to kind of dispel is, certainly feel it occasionally, that dairy farming is dirty and we're ruining the environment. Speaking for myself, we do everything we can to protect our environment. In the future, I'd like to have kids grow up farming, and if what I'm doing it is ruining it now, that's gonna, affect their future. So we love the land, we love the animals. It's as simple as that.
You're definitely not covered in crap all day, and your cows aren't just crapping in waterways all day. And I've definitely learnt since coming dairy farming how strict the regulations are around looking after the environment and how much farmers are doing for the environment. Stuff that I didn't really know about before coming farming, and stuff that I'm still learning about, to be honest. With dairy, there's systems in place for you to be able to learn everything on the job, which is the other thing I found really awesome. The support out there is great. And the last one was that you had to be a high school dropout to go dairy farming. Obviously, there's a bit of a, I suppose, stigma around dairy farmers that that you're the bottom of the pile or whatever, but that's definitely not the case. I've come across no one in the industry that's like that, and in fact, to do a good job as a farmer, you have to have some brains and be reliable and show up to work, or else you're not going to last long anyway. And do it, go for it. If you want to go farming, then all the support is there that you need. The biggest bit of advice I could give would be get a good manager and make sure they know that you are coming in new to the industry, and make sure that they're able to teach you.
So 6 years later, here I am, still farming, still loving it. Couldn't imagine going back to working as a physiotherapist. So anyone thinking of going dairy farming, I'd say give it a crack. You've got nothing to lose. Whatever your next move is, that'll still be there if it doesn't work out dairy farming. But if you're like me and a lot of other people I know, you'll fast forward a few years and wonder where the time's gone. It's been such a great ride.
One myth about farming that I would like to bust is that women can't farm. I'm here, I'm doing it. There's plenty of amazing women out there farming, from trainees right through to bosses, and there's plenty of awesome men supporting women in this career. We're strong and we're hard and we can do it.